Would you like to attract more independent travelers, inspire them to visit the lesser known places, and engage them to stay longer? I'm Jan, the CEO of SmartGuide, and today I'd like to share with you the latest technology using big data analytics and AI that transforms smart destination management. This season, tourists were back in full strength, in many places surpassing the pre-COVID numbers. This is, of course, good news for the industry, but it again suffocates the most popular tourist spots. And Venice went as far as hiring armed guards to control tourists. Yet, just steps away from these crowds, there are so many interesting undiscovered places, just like this authentic gondola workshop. Instead of restricting tourist flows, we came up with a recipe using positive motivation to spread tourists in space and time. Firstly, we need to understand individual visitors to give them different recommendations. These recommendations inspire travelers to raise interest in less visited places. And which is easier if the content is available in their own language. And it must be very easy to use and fun. All of this used to be quite difficult to do, but AI now helps us so that we can do this easily. And let me show you how. SmartGuide platform is a bit like YouTube for travel guides. The SmartGuide app turns travelers' phone into an engaging personal guide right in their pocket. It guides you whenever it suits you at your own pace, outside of the crowds, and tells you interesting stories about the places you visit, also fully offline. Doing so, we get amazing big data insights on visitors, how they behave, where they go, how much time they spend there, what they like and what they find boring. And we use this data to disperse tourists. We used machine learning and trained classification AI on 20 million places of interest to understand what any content is about. It helps us to understand that, for example, this traffic light semaphore in London is about sightseeing, art, and sculptures. As users interact with the content, we see what they are interested in, and we build up their personal, unique interest profile. We then match this profile with available content to give them personalized recommendations. This makes the guide more relevant and inspires every traveler to visit different places, which spreads the crowds and makes tourism more sustainable. Now, this is very powerful, but we need lots of interesting content to make it work. Fortunately, there is lots of interesting content available. So, for example, in Germany, we work with the National Tourism Board to build an API that we connect to the knowledge graph where content from all destinations is available as open data. We also have an easy-to-use content management system where anyone can publish their best stories for free in no time. But still, there are some white spots which we don't get the content for using these sources, and that's where the large language models come in. Tourism boards upload content and with a few clicks turn it into a professional app. They don't need to invest into developing any technology. If they don't have the budget to provide the human audio, we automatically record content using AI-powered text-to-speech, and the quality is so good that 55% of users don't even realize that it's not a human speaking. Sometimes tourism boards have content that is factual but very boring. ChatGPT can write exciting travel content that is unfortunately often factually completely wrong. So we found a way to combine the facts you find in Wikipedia articles with the copywriting storytelling powers of GPT-4. It took us over 400 iterations, and we have now 3 layers of prompts to make guides that are mostly factually correct, informative, and fun at the same time. And you can judge the results yourself scanning the QR codes. But wait, what about other languages? Today, the official Venice tourism website is in English and Italian only. But there is also 1 million of French, Spanish, German, and Polish visitors every year, not to mention the Asian visitors. The AI-powered translators such as DeepL do a very good job these days. So we asked the travelers what they think about the trade-off of having an imperfect translation versus not having the content in their preferred language. And in printed materials, travelers expect to get perfect translation. But in digital channels, they prefer to have the option of machine translation as long as it is clearly indicated. So that is what you can see, for example, in Google or Booking.com reviews. And that is why we are now rolling off automated translations into 27 languages for the next season in SmartGuide. Now, let's see how this works in practice. For example, most international visitors go to Pilsen for the beer. We help the brewery to digitize their tours in multiple languages. But then the city also published tours for beer geeks, for families, and art lovers, and other audiences, which attracts travelers to explore the city as well. Here is an example of German tourists who typically start at the brewery on the right side, and then we inspire them to explore other neighborhoods in the city. Prague City Tourism digitized paper guides, brochures on SmartGuide, and more than 10 other authors joined in to publish their best stories. So now in Prague, there is in English over 400 places of interest. Interesting stories about less visited places inspire users to spend 30% of their time outside of the crowded city center. So tourists spend on average 3 days in the city. So this practically means that they spend 2 days visiting the top sites because that's what they usually came for. But then on the 3rd day, we inspire them to venture into the other neighborhoods to get some more authentic experiences. That also means that the city can cater to 30% more travelers with the same level of crowds. And I'm sure you can do the math to how much value this brings. And furthermore, this value is distributed more evenly across the destination, not just at the tourist traps. Tourism boards used to spend lots of money and time to develop their own apps that almost always failed because tourism boards are not experts in developing digital products. They underestimate the maintenance, and travelers don't want a different app for every place they visit. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. We have all the technology ready-made to provide digital guides for tourist attractions, destinations, regions, and the whole countries, indoor or outdoor, free or paid. And since we spread the costs across hundreds of partners, it actually costs just a fraction of the development of your own app. Plus, you benefit from the travelers already on the platform. So if you see any opportunities for your tourism boards to benefit from these technologies powered by AI, please let me know. Together, let's make tourism more engaging and sustainable.